Good morning, country mouse walkers. Only just morning, but yeah, it's about 11:30, 11:45. It's what 3 words are tricky, cable, renew, and we're in Lincoln still. This will be my last walk recording for the day, but whether it'll be my last walk uploaded, I don't know. So here we are at the Collection, which is a archaeology museum for the Lincolnshire area. It's sister to the castle. It's all part of the same. It's free to get in, as you can see, and it has everything inside it from Roman excavations, because they discovered a Roman floor when they were excavating to build. Viking, medieval, Roman, Iron Age, all from the area. Well worth a visit. And it opened in 2005, this new building. So just down there, those first buildings you can see are Lincoln Council offices. But we're going to go into the Usher Gallery. And the Usher Gallery was built after a donation from James Usher. If you can just look in the corner, you can see Greek style temple, and that gives the name to these gardens, the temple gardens. So James Usher was a jeweller, and there's still, I believe, a jeweller's on Guildhall Street that bears his name, and he collected everything from enamels to miniatures, and he also had the rights to the Lincoln imp. So never married, and when he died in 1921, he left everything in his collection and the money to build the gallery. So this statue here is called A Mighty Blow for Freedom. There is a second part to the title, but I'm not going to say it because it's probably not advisable in case any youngsters are watching. And it's by Michael Sandel, designed in 1988. So the buildings you can see up in the distance, the walls there, that's all the Bishop's medieval palace. Now that's all closed at the moment, up for conservation, probably be closed for another 12 months or so, apparently, from what it says on their site. This statue of mother and child, I have no idea who made it. It's very interesting. So we're now on the terrace, and all this area is built on a lower Roman city. So we're going to make our way up from here. You can see the back of the medieval palace. We're going to make our way from here. We're going to go through this archway, which is part of the remains of the close wall, which was a Roman wall, I believe, but it was mostly destroyed by the Civil War. Onto Danes Gate, and then we're going to go up onto Steep Hill and just see the collection there. Other side. I did mention the Lincoln Imp. I'm not sure if I've mentioned the Imp on any of my other videos, but the story behind the Lincoln Imp is that the devil sent some demons to Earth to cause chaos, and one was caught in the cathedral by an angel. Where the others ran away, this one stayed to torment. So the angel excuse me, the angel turned him to stone. He's now permanently stuck in the cathedral, and if you ever go in the cathedral, please go looking for him. I'm sure I must have told that story on the cathedral walk, but it's a good story. They have to excuse me if I start puffing and panting on this bit, but we're heading up to Steep Hill, and this Danesgate, which is not quite as steep, works its way round to the wonky lamppost, which on my walk down Steep Hill I would have mentioned, but the wonky lamppost marks the halfway point. It's usually the point where people are going, "Give me oxygen, please." But it's a good place to stop, do a bit of window shopping or have a coffee to get your breath back. And as you can see, there it is ahead of us. This area's all mainly medieval. That's Hospital Terrace there. Nice buildings. Church that way. So this area is mainly restaurants, bars, pubs and shops. This is where the Lincoln Christmas market starts from, and they'll have food fairs, etc. during the year on a normal basis. What
will go ahead this year, I don't know. So this is the entrance to the castle. And the castle, this castle was built by William the Conqueror. On what remains of the morning. Or is it afternoon now?
Afternoon, but I don't know, if you have lunch I'd say it's afternoon, if not morning.
I'll stick to morning then, thank you. So yeah, this was built on the Roman fortress remains. Now inside this building here, this was a prison, and it was a prison from 1848 to 1878, and it housed everybody from thieves through to murderers. Don't know whether the sun's blocking that out. You can visit that when it's open to the public. You can visit. The wall, you can see, surrounds the castle. It's now been repaired to the state where you can just see the cathedral over the top there, to the point where you can actually now walk the whole wall all the way round. I think the cafe is just doing takeaways, but otherwise everything else is shut at the minute. Now the mound you can see over there is called Lucy Tower, if I'm right. Yep. And the people that were executed for murder are still buried in there, and if you have a look in there, if you do walk the wall, you can actually see the gravestones still there. As you can see, they've had to put extra staircases in places where the wall has crumbled away, the walkway, but otherwise you're actually walking on the remains of the walls. So the building in front is the Crown Court, and it is still used today. So it's unique as, I think, one in two it's sorry, one in two of places that are still used as prisons and courts, and the other is somewhere down south. It's also one of only a few castles that had two moats, for some unsure why. So at the minute they currently have a one-way system, so you can only come in through the east gate over there. I'll just show you the and the timeline. Although with the sun on it, it's not easy to read.
Right, quick battery change there, so we'll go and have look over this side. Here's statue I want to show you is of King George III. It used to be full height. This is an old well that's part of the castle. But yeah, it used to be full height. It was taken down in 41 by the RAF because it said it was hazardous to planes, and it was found in pieces, and the top bit of him is there, as you can see, and the rest of it apparently is in storage in the castle, at the hope it may be repaired at some point. That's Cobb Hall in the corner, a lookout defensive point. On my other walk round the Bailgate, you'll have seen that from the other side because it's in the car park area. And this is the bathhouse, which well, when it was excavated, they found a plunge pool and changing rooms inside.
So to walk through the castle or just come into the grounds, it's completely free. But if you want to do the walls, look at the prison, and look at the Magna Carta, which is housed here as well, along with the Forest Charter, which is a charter that was drawn up a few years after the Magna Carta, and the Magna Carta was done in 1215. The Forest Charter, or Charter of the Forest, was done in 1217, smaller version. Both are housed here, and it's the only place in the world that both of them are housed. It's still considered a very much an icon of liberty.
So we're going to head out the west gate now, which is your exit point at the moment. Excuse me. And over the recently built bridge over the what would have been the moat on this side. Interesting place to live, backing onto the castle. We're going to make our way over now to the lawn. So the lawn is, it is now sorry, a mixture of buildings. And it was originally built in the 19th century as a hospital, or to be exact, a lunatic asylum, in those words. It's now a car park. There's some meeting buildings here, used conference buildings. There's a coffee shop, hotel over there, which is currently closed. Forgot to mention, it's turned really warm now. It's about 18 degrees, 64 Fahrenheit. Early April, it's beautiful. So just hidden in this corner over here is a garden, the John Dauber garden. And it only has its gates open during the day, they lock it at night. This archway ahead of us is called the Moon Gate, and it has writing on one side in Chinese and on translation on the other side, which says, "A sense of the past explains the present and foretells the future." And that's the translation of that. It was built as a recreational garden for the hospital. were leaving by the other gate, past the children's play area. Out on the back area here where the this part of the car park is, there used to be a hothouse area that was glass built by well, Joseph Banks. I'm not sure if it was named after him or he built it. And that was dismantled and taken to Woodside Wildlife Park about 10 years or so ago, and they use it as a butterfly and hothouse now. And it opened up the gardens here to be more car park really. We're just going to make our way round to the hospital. That's the back of the hotel and coffee shop over there. These torch towers you find all over Lincolnshire. I don't know about other areas. And they used to be lit. And there'd be one so the next one could be seen, and they date back to the Spanish Armada. So the big cream building here is the hospital. So it was built in 1819 as a lunatic asylum, as I said, but it was for persons of a superior class. In other words, people that could pay for their treatment, or their families could pay for their treatment. And it was designed, there was a big Greek revival in those days, so it looks almost like a big stately home from its front. And it was taken over by the NHS in 1948 and closed as a hospital in 1985. In 1852 there was a new hospital was opened, so it then became a hospital for the insane. But it did make big breakthroughs. It was one of the hospitals dealing with mental health that abolished mechanical restraints and isolation for patients, and started to look more into dealing with the needs. presumed that they're all business suites and things now that it's used for. If you're looking for a really good tapas restaurant while you're in Lincoln, you can't go far wrong with a lay. Not sponsored by them, but very much recommend them. Lovely restaurant. And then just on the other side here you have Stokes Coffee Shop, which is the same company that own the medieval Highbridge House place that I walked in the city centre. Like most parking around this area, the lawn's a good car park. Short stay, it's not too expensive, but you go long stay and it gets quite dear. So we're now on the outside of the castle. This area is mainly used for car parking, and if you follow this road it will take you back towards the cathedral, as you can see in the distance, and Bailgate. You can see the steep sides. So where we are would all be excuse me, would have all been moat. So as we head back towards the Bailgate, sorry, I'm going to call it here. I want to thank you for watching, thank you for walking with me, thank you if you've seen my other Lincoln videos, and if you haven't, please check them out. And look after yourselves. I know there's different degrees of discomfort going on across the world, but please stay safe everybody, take care. And we're finishing up as a quick look at a Victorian water tower. Built in 1911, it was designed to match in with the surrounding historic buildings. So thank you all for visiting, take care, bye.